Oh, this is an opportunity that has never presented itself before for me in all the years of my ministry with you in the city, Brookline. And this is an opportunity. I was able to bring a message to you last Sunday, and here I am again on this Sunday. I'm really grateful that I was reached out to, and the door was open for me to be here today. And I will be with you again on next Sunday. So never before in all of these years available or scheduled to speak 3 messages in a row.
Oh.
And so my Father, yea God, still alive in spirit and still speaks to me, although he speaks far less regularly to me than does my mother. He made a suggestion to me the other day. And he said this would probably be your only opportunity, my son, to do a message that was a continual deepening of a particular message. Last week, you were with the people and you were deepening the scriptural recording of the encounter with Jesus and the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman. What might be nice is that if you don't choose to go into an entirely different topic or subject or scripture reference this coming Sunday, but that you choose to deepen what you began on last Sunday. He said, I also believe that you need to correct one or two of the things that came through you that were misspoken. You referred to Jesus approaching the Samaritan woman at the well, and you realized as soon as it came out of your mouth that that was not the actual way their encounter occurred. You thought to correct yourself, but you didn't want to interrupt yourself with you were on a roll. And so it would be good to go right back to that encounter with that woman at the well and to deepen what you might have said last Sabbath Sunday about that encounter and how it is relevant for each and every one of us. And so that's what I will be doing today. I said last week that Jesus approached the woman at the well. That's not how it happened. This is how it happened. You've heard me say that one thing I love about Jesus is that he's a sneaky little rascal. He's always about God's business, and he's only about God's business. And he's sneaky. You've also heard me say that Jesus was an outlaw. He was a lawbreaker. The most important thing to the Jewish people was their book of the law, their tablets written in stone, the laws of Moses and Abraham and all those who had come before, who were recognized to be the voice for God speaking to the nation. Those laws, those books, those rules, those regulations were the most important things ever to the Jewish people in their religion. They were not to be messed with. They were not to be personally interpreted. They had been given their interpretation, and we were to abide by them and not argue or question them. If you've seen the movie or the play on Broadway from years ago, Fiddler on the Roof, one of the most outstanding songs in that musical play is traditions, tradition, tradition. Tradition is everything to the Jewish people. It is their law. And I have told you before, and I will repeat it again today. Jesus came to break many of the laws of the religion. His was not a mission to stick to what was written, but to break free from any and every confine that the written law might set forth for the people. One of the most important laws for the Jewish people was the law of cleanliness. The law of cleanliness meant that you did not get near unclean people. Who are unclean people? They are the unpious Jews. They are people of every other tribe, every other nation, every other philosophical persuasion. And therefore, the Jews, as the chosen people of God, looked down upon everyone in the surroundings. All of the other people other than the Jews are the unclean ones. They are not the chosen ones, and you are not to associate with them, lest you become tarnished and unclean as well. Jesus had noticed this Samaritan woman. For a number of days, he had noticed her while he was doing his teaching near the territory of where the well was located. And one thing he noticed was that she was always alone. All of the other Samaritan women gathered at a certain hour and came in group to go to the well to draw their water for the day's supply. But this one woman was not with the others. She came after the others had left alone. So Jesus knows immediately and completely that my people shun this woman because she is a Samaritan, a mixed race person. We shun all of her people. But this woman is not simply being shunned by us, she's being shunned by her own people. None of the other women are with her. She is alone. And he, having attained the fullness of Christ's consciousness, knows precisely why. So noting the time that she comes to the well, on this day, this sneaky little rascal Jesus gets there before her and sits next to the well, waiting for her to arrive. She's pretty surprised that there's someone sitting there. This is the first time she's gone at this hour to find anyone there. When she sees that it's a Jew, there's one thing she knows right away. As soon as he sees this Samaritan woman approaching, he'll skedaddle, he'll leave. He won't stay in the field of my uncleanliness. And so she approaches more slowly, and he's not moving. He's just sitting there. And most curiously, he's looking at me like no one has ever looked at me before. You see, I know my story. And mine is a story of pain. I've been looking for something I don't have all of my life. I have this void in me, this emptiness in me. I have this fear in me and this doubt in me. And I have much shame in me. I want to be loved. I want to be protected. I want to be cared for. I want to be cherished. I want to be safe. And never yet have I found a place of love or cherishing or safety. I've looked for it in the only place that women of my place and time can possibly perhaps find it, with a man. In that day and time. And certainly part of it is still alive today in 2024. Women were not considered full-fledged, worthwhile human beings. Women were to bear the children of their men, their husbands. They were to wash and to clean and to cook and to serve. They had no vote, they had no right, they had no voice. And so this woman, looking for some way to feel safe, looking for something to fill the void in her, looking for some evidence of being loved, has gone from husband to husband to husband. She had hoped the first husband could fill the void within her, could give her what she wanted and needed, but he could not and would not, because he didn't have it. A second husband, another hope. Maybe this time, maybe he will cherish me. Maybe he will care for me. Maybe he will love me. Maybe he will protect me. Maybe he can give me what I need to feel safe. But he did not. He would not. Because he could not. Maybe a third husband. Please, God, please, God, please, God. Let this be the answer to my lifelong prayer. That I find what I need to fill the emptiness inside me, to end my fear, to give me hope, to give me a feeling of safety. Please, God, please, God, please, God, let it be, God, let it be, God. But he did not. He would not. Because he could not. He didn't have to give what she needed. One can only extend that which one possesses. If I do not have a feeling of safety and fullness and joy and peace and power in me, I am unable to extend any of that to anyone else. Again, I say, one can only extend that which one possesses. He's looking at her as she gets closer. She somehow sees that he can see pieces of her story in the realm of his story. She's hoping he can't see everything, but she suspects he probably can. She decides that she will be in a hurry and in a rush to draw her water to leave his presence, because it's quite uncomfortable being in the presence of someone who you really believe can see inside you, can see your life, can see all the things that you should not have done and did, and all of the things that you should have done and didn't. So she begins to drop the bucket. And then this lawbreaker, Jesus, who has broken a law by remaining in her presence alone, now breaks the law further by leaning in to her and beginning an intimate conversation with her. He says, woman, the water that you are drawing from the well will feed your thirst for a time. But once your thirst has been replenished, soon later you will be in need of more. My sister, I have drink for you that is the water of life. And if you drink of the water of life, trust me, my sister, you will thirst no more. The empty place in you will be filled to running over like a cup. Your heart will be mended and healed from its brokenness. You will have the safety that you have longed for. And you will finally, at last, experience being loved by love mixed with nothing but itself. And she knew it was true, because such was the love pouring out from his eyes as he gazed upon her. It was something out of this world, something utterly out of this world, to be gazed upon with eyes shining out nothing but love. Love mixed with nothing but more love. No expectation, no bargaining, just an outpouring. She began to let him know, I can know that you can see everything about me. And it confounds me that you're gazing upon me with such love and such welcome and such holding. How can you? My own people can't stand me because of the many husbands I've been through. She doesn't say what she hopes he cannot see about her current condition, but he lets her know, I can. He says, woman, I can see all of your journey. And I know that even now you are living with a man who is not your husband, much to the shame of your people. But I have come to give you life. I have come to give you life more abundantly. I didn't come to shame the world, nor to chastise you for your wrong. I have come to mend your broken heart and to give your life a song. I come that you might have life more abundantly. Brothers and sisters, can you imagine? Can you image in life more abundant, more abundant peace, more abundant prosperity, more abundant health, more abundant joy, more abundant Christ consciousness, more abundant knowing of oneness with the Creator and all of creation. Can you image in you, gifted with greater abundant life? It is available. Can you imagine? Can you imagine drinking from a cup of living water and arriving at a place where you thirst no more, where you don't need anyone or anything outside of you to provide for you a feeling of safety and security and peace and joy? Can you imagine? Can you image in being loved by love mixed with nothing but itself? She was transformed. Who wouldn't be? And then that sneaky little rascal said, "Sister, if you're able to, could you please just keep this between you and me and God? If you're able to, could you just hold it as our quiet little secret encounter for a moment or two?" She said, "I'll do my best." But when she started walking home with her pail filled with water, her walking turned to skipping, and her skipping turned into a childlike sprint, water sloshing everywhere. And as soon as she got to her village, and the people looked at her, they knew it was not the same one who had gone to the well, that a change had come over her. She shined like a light. Such joy she had that many of them had never known even for a moment. "What happened to you?" "I met a man," she said, "a shining one. And he told me what I needed desperately to hear. He said, my sister, my sister, my sister, you are not the story of your pain. You are not the story of your pain. Yours is the story of God's glory. And this day, your waiting is at its end. My sister, myself, my sister. God is in heaven, and heaven is in you. And holy is your name. God wants you to know you have nothing to fear, and that there is nothing and no one to blame. You've been informed. Your captivity is over. You've been informed. In truth, you're free. And so it is. I am that woman at the well. And so are you. We are not the story of our pain. We are the story of God's glory made flesh for a time that is temporary and for a purpose that is eternal. We are loved with love mixed with nothing but itself. How blessed are we? We are blessed beyond measure. Yea, God. Yea, God. Wow. Yea, God.